Mental abuse can leave deep scars that aren't always visible. Unlike physical wounds, the damage caused by mental abuse manifests in subtle behaviors, emotional struggles, and patterns of thinking that are often difficult to articulate. Understanding these signs can help you recognize when someone has experienced this kind of trauma, allowing you to approach them with empathy and understanding. Here are 7 clear signs a woman has been mentally abused. 1. She struggles with trust. When someone has been mentally abused, trust becomes one of the first casualties. Mental abuse often involves manipulation, lies, and betrayal, leaving the person with a deep-rooted fear of being hurt again. A woman who's experienced this may hesitate to open up, second-guess your motives, or constantly analyze interactions for hidden meanings. For example, she might seem overly cautious about sharing personal details, worried they'll be used against her. Compliments, which should feel uplifting, might be met with skepticism. Even acts of kindness could make her question your intentions, as she's learned to associate vulnerability with disappointment. This isn't because she doesn't want to trust. It's a defense mechanism developed from repeated emotional harm. To rebuild trust, patience is key. Consistency in your actions and words over time can help her feel safe enough to let her guard down. Remember, she's not questioning you personally. She's protecting herself from potential harm based on past experiences. 2. She apologizes excessively. One of the more visible signs of mental abuse is the tendency to apologize excessively. A woman who's been mentally abused may say, "I'm sorry," for things that don't warrant an apology, like bumping into someone, expressing her opinions, or even just existing in a space. This habit stems from an abusive environment where she was made to feel at fault for everything, regardless of the truth. Over time, this conditioning leads to a fear of confrontation and the belief that she must always take responsibility to avoid conflict. For instance, she might apologize multiple times for a simple mistake like being late, even if it was beyond her control. Or she may apologize for sharing her feelings, as though her emotions are an inconvenience to others. To support her, encourage her to recognize when apologies are unnecessary. Reassure her that her feelings, opinions, and presence are valued, and she doesn't need to apologize for simply being herself. Helping her unlearn this reflex takes time, but can be a powerful step in her healing. 3. She has low self-esteem. Mental abuse often chips away at a person's sense of self-worth. Abusers use criticism, comparison, and belittling to make their victims feel inadequate. As a result, a woman who's endured mental abuse may struggle with low self-esteem, doubting her abilities, appearance, or overall value. She might dismiss her achievements, saying things like, "It wasn't that big of a deal," or avoid taking credit for her successes. Compliments might make her uncomfortable or even suspicious, as she's been conditioned to expect criticism rather than praise. This lack of self-worth can spill into all aspects of her life. She might hesitate to pursue opportunities, fearing she's not good enough, or she may seek constant reassurance from others, unsure of her own capabilities. Building her confidence requires patience and positive reinforcement. Celebrate her successes, no matter how small, and remind her of her strengths. It's about helping her rediscover the self-worth that's been buried beneath years of emotional harm. 4. She avoids conflict at all costs. Conflict in a healthy relationship is normal, but for a woman who's been mentally abused, even minor disagreements can feel overwhelming. She might avoid addressing issues altogether, choosing silence over confrontation because she's been conditioned to associate conflict with punishment, humiliation, or manipulation. For example, if you ask her what's wrong, she might say, "Nothing," even when it's clear something is bothering her. This isn't because she doesn't want to communicate, it's because she's learned that voicing her feelings could lead to escalation or blame. This avoidance can make it difficult to resolve problems in relationships, as she prioritizes keeping the peace over expressing her needs. To help her feel comfortable addressing conflict, create a safe space where she knows her feelings will be heard and respected. Reassure her that disagreements are natural and don't have to lead to hostility or rejection. 5. She questions her own perception. Mental abuse often involves gaslighting, a tactic where the abuser manipulates someone into doubting their own thoughts, memories, or reality. As a result, a woman who's been mentally abused may frequently question her own perception of events. For instance, she might say, "Maybe I'm overreacting," or ask, "Do you think I'm remembering that wrong?" Even when her feelings or recollection are perfectly valid. This self-doubt stems from being repeatedly told that her emotions or experiences were exaggerated or invalid. This constant questioning can make her hesitant to trust her instincts or make decisions, as she's been conditioned to believe she's always in the wrong. To support her, validate her feelings, and encourage her to trust her own judgment. Helping her rebuild confidence in her perception is a crucial step toward healing from the damage caused by mental abuse. 6. She overanalyzes your words and actions. A woman who's been mentally abused might overanalyze everything you say and do, searching for hidden meanings or potential threats. This behavior is a defense mechanism developed from living in an environment where words and actions were often weaponized against her. For instance, if you're quiet, she might assume you're upset with her, even if you're just tired. A simple comment might be dissected for hours as she tries to determine if there's an underlying criticism or implication. This overanalysis isn't about mistrusting you, it's about trying to protect herself from being blindsided by emotional harm. To help her, communicate openly and consistently. Reassure her that your words mean exactly what they say and encourage her to express her concerns rather than internalizing them. 7. She has difficulty setting boundaries. Mental abuse often involves a complete disregard for personal boundaries. Over time, this can leave a woman struggling to assert her own needs or say no to others. She might agree to things she doesn't want to do, stay silent when her boundaries are crossed, or feel guilty for prioritizing herself. For example, she might overextend herself to please others, even at the expense of her own well-being. Or she might tolerate disrespectful behavior because she fears the consequences of speaking up. To support her, encourage her to set and maintain boundaries. Remind her that it's okay to say no and that her needs and feelings are just as important as anyone else's. Helping her reclaim her right to set limits is a powerful way to empower her and aid in her recovery. Recognizing these signs is the first step toward understanding and supporting someone who's been mentally abused. If you or someone you know resonates with these experiences, remember that healing is possible. Patience, empathy, and the right support can help rebuild confidence and trust. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights.